Don't ignore these 6 subtle signs of diabetes. After 65, our bodies start whispering before they scream. But here's the thing. Most of us, we don't listen until it's too loud to ignore. Right now, in America, millions of older adults are living with type 2 diabetes, and they don't even know it. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 4 adults over 65 has diabetes, and nearly half are in a pre-diabetic stage, quietly walking toward the edge without a clue. It doesn't always start with sugar cravings or constant thirst. Sometimes, it begins much quieter. A small change in how you sleep, a strange ache in your hands, a little weight loss you didn't try for. That's what happened to Bill. He's 72, strong, still takes care of his yard, fixes things around the house. But a few months ago, he noticed something odd. His vision would blur just before dinner. Not all the time, just sometimes. Then came the fatigue, the kind that makes you sit down mid-task. He chalked it up to getting older, but it wasn't age. It was his blood sugar. This video isn't here to scare you, but to wake you up. Because here's the truth. If you catch diabetes early, you can reverse it, or at least control it well enough to stay sharp, mobile, and independent for years. But to do that, you need to recognize the signs, not the obvious ones, but the subtle ones, the ones no one talks about. So let me ask you something. Have you lost weight without trying? Do you wake up with dry mouth? Do small cuts take forever to heal now? These are just a few of the signs we're about to dive into. But before we do, I want you to do one thing. Promise yourself you won't brush this off. Because if you're watching this, that means you care. And when you care, you act. Not just for yourself, but for the people who love you. Let's take a deep breath and look at the first quiet signal that your body might be sending you. The first sign that often slips through the cracks is blurred vision, just like what happened to Bill. It doesn't come and stay like a permanent fog. No, it comes in waves. Some days your sight is fine. Others it's like someone smeared Vaseline across your glasses. You rub your eyes, think maybe you're tired. But here's the science. When your blood sugar spikes, the lenses in your eyes swell. That swelling distorts your focus literally. Over time, if this continues unchecked, it could lead to permanent damage to the retina. So, if you're finding yourself squinting more often, struggling to read your phone, or blaming your glasses for getting weaker, you might want to get your blood sugar tested. It's a simple check, a finger prick, but it could save your eyesight. The second sign? Tingling or numbness in your hands and feet. It might start as just a funny feeling in your toes. Maybe you stand up in the morning and it feels like you're walking on cotton balls. Or maybe your fingers go numb when you're folding laundry. That's not just circulation. That's your nerves responding to high blood sugar over time. They call it diabetic neuropathy, but I call it a warning. Your body is saying, I'm being damaged. And the tricky part, it doesn't hurt at first. It just feels strange. But once it gets worse, it can cause real pain, even difficulty walking. Let's move to something most folks really overlook. Frequent urination, especially at night. Now, yes, this happens with age. The bladder isn't what it used to be. But if you're getting up 3, 4, even 5 times a night, it might not be your age. It might be your kidneys trying to flush out excess sugar in your blood. Your body is fighting to bring things back to balance, and it's working overtime while you sleep. And here's the kicker. The more you pee, the more water you lose. That leads to dehydration and that dry mouth in the morning that feels like sandpaper. Then comes slow healing, paper cuts, shaving nicks, even tiny bruises. They just don't fade like they used to. High blood sugar weakens your immune system, slows your circulation, and makes it harder for your skin to repair itself. So that scratch on your hand that stays raw for 2 weeks? That's not just thin skin. It could be something deeper. The fifth subtle signal, this one surprises people, is unexplained weight loss. Now, most of us wouldn't complain about shedding a few pounds. But if you're eating normally, not exercising more, and still dropping weight, that's a red flag. When your body can't process sugar properly, it starts breaking down fat and muscle for energy. It's a quiet kind of wasting, and it happens slowly, until one day you look in the mirror and wonder when your belt got so loose. And finally, There's extreme fatigue, not just tired, but wiped out. You wake up feeling like you haven't slept. You sit down to rest, and suddenly 2 hours have passed. Everything feels harder, slower, like your batteries don't hold a charge anymore. That's because without proper insulin function, your body can't turn sugar into usable energy. So even if your blood sugar is high, your cells are starving. Now, if one of these signs showed up once, maybe it's nothing. But when 2, 3 more of them appear together, that's when it's time to stop guessing and start testing. And here's the good news. Many of these symptoms can improve within weeks of small changes. Not a complete lifestyle overhaul, just little things. The right breakfast, a 10-minute walk after meals, swapping soda for water. We're not aiming for perfection, we're aiming for awareness and consistency. Because the earlier you catch this, the more power you have to turn it around. You know, sometimes it's not the loudest warning that saves us. It's the soft oneness, the quiet nudges, the gentle whispers from your body that say, hey, something's off. And if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to say this, you're already ahead. Because awareness, that's the first step, always. Let's take a breath and look at what we've uncovered together. We talked about blurred vision, those strange, fleeting moments where your world goes just slightly out of focus. We touched on numbness, that tingling in the feet, or hands that creeps in, unnoticed at first. We uncovered the truth behind frequent bathroom trips, the dry mouth in the morning, the cuts that take forever to heal. We even talked about the pounds that slip away without permission, and that deep, draining fatigue that follows you like a shadow. 6 subtle signs, easy to ignore, easy to chalk up to aging, but now you know better. And when you know better, you can choose better. So what now? You don't need to go on a crash diet, you don't need to start running marathons, but maybe tomorrow morning, instead of sugary cereal, you start your day with a boiled egg and half an avocado. Maybe you step outside after lunch and just walk for 10 minutes. Maybe you schedule a quick checkup just to be sure. Because the truth is, you're not powerless. Diabetes doesn't just arrive one day and take over, it leaves footprints first. And you've just learned to see them. I know growing older can feel like losing control of the body you once trusted. But here's what no one says enough. You still have time. Time to change direction. Time to strengthen, to fight, to heal. Time to stay independent, alert, and full of energy. And you're not alone. We're in this together step, every choice, every day. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, go to bed with one small goal. Tomorrow, do one good thing for your body. And the next day, do it again. One small act of care at a time. That's how we stay sharp. That's how we stay strong. You've made it this far, let's make sure the years ahead are clear, steady, and full of life. Coming up next, the 3 early signs of dementia no one talks about. Don't miss it. It might change the way you understand memory loss forever.